Hey y'all, I am on a road trip coming through my college town, and I just felt all of the vibes. So it is time that I come in to talk to y'all. As I'm on this 6-hour journey, I am listening to At the End of It All by Lyse, which is a new adult sports romance that centers a character named Asen. Asen is coming back to Houston, which is his hometown, and he was living in LA with his father. His father is a NBA coach. He played with the Lakers. He played with Kobe, and so he is living in his father's shadow. But while he was on campus at UCLA, he basically got into a scandal when it came to a night, and we don't know what exactly happened. We do know that it was tales of him and a white girl, so we're wanting to see what exactly happened there. And so he's just trying to find his way in his own legacy to get out of the shadow of his father. But his father decided to come back to this HBCU that in Houston that he's going to be his coach. And so there he meets Lourdes, which her nickname is Fat, and Fat is the daughter of a fellow NBA basketball legend in Houston, and she is missing her father. Her mother is currently ill, and she's taking care of her, and she is innocent in terms of she's a virgin, female character. She's a freshman. I believe that Asen is either a junior or a senior, and they're on two different speeds, but they are attracted to each other and their love for basketball. So I am really enjoying it so far. I'm only probably about 15 or 20% in, and so we'll see how this goes. When I tell you I am memory laning so freaking hard, the fact that they are subtweeting, like she is putting down the most vague thoughts about this man, like what does it mean when a guy makes you want to eat and you haven't eaten in days, and he subtweets her back like it means eat the up. Wow, I am living my college dream. I'm too old for this. Okay, I just want y'all to know that Asen is a legit problem. Like the man is going to be the death of me, and he is 10 years my junior. Like if I was in the situation that she is, if I was in the same situation as Fat, I'd be caught up too. Like it's very reminiscent. She is a freshman in college and he is a senior, which very much seems problematic. I find it interesting that her mama's cool with it, but given the fact that her mama and his mama was best friends, it stands to reason why she's like not really phased. Also, she's going through her own cancer battle, so she is not necessarily as lucid as possible, but she knows that he comes from good stock, so she's letting it slide. Me personally, I had a dalliance when I wasn't a freshman in college with a senior, but I would never let my mama know. Like that was never going to be the case, but in this one it's working. Now Asen is that guy. Let me tell you how he just bought her a swimming suit that shows all of her curves that she's going to wear to this swimming party with another guy, a guy from his basketball team that has been by her side the entire time, sniffing her drawers, wanting to be with her. And so he's secure enough in what he's got going on to say, hey, I'm gonna buy you this swimming suit, you can wear it with this man, and I'm not gonna be at the party. Wow, never, right? Especially given how possessive and alpha male that he is. Now what got me was the fact that Asen decided to take his butt and go hang out with a Jersey chaser that works at the same store with Fat. Now this is where it bothers me, because if you don't want to be where I'm at, I need you to be at home. Don't be out here gallivanting the streets saying that you wasting time until you can get to me. No, baby. I don't even like the idea of impropriety. I want you to either be where I'm at, looking at me looking scrumptious in this swimsuit, or you need to be at home waiting for me to get there. Like, there is no in between. So the fact that he out here messing up is what's getting me. However, the real reason is he doesn't want to go to this party because of what happened at UCLA. Like, he's trying to make sure that he is on the straight and narrow path. He doesn't like being in the spotlight. Now, I find that we are getting a little bit more. Lyse is really stretching out this scandal, and I'm assuming that it falls in line with, he was in the same vicinity with this Jersey chaser, and she claimed that he assaulted her. That sounds very plausible, especially what happened with black boys that are going places. So I am very, interested to see how all of the things come out in the wash. And I do want to make mention of, these are allegations, not saying that he did it, not saying that he didn't do it, because Lyse is keeping that tight to the chest. I am saying that it is not uncommon for boys that are on the rise to get caught up in the moment with these girls and either do something they had no business doing, and rightfully they should be locked up under the jail, or being caught in the moment and someone says that they did something that they didn't do. And I'm very interested to see how this works out, because as the story continues to unfold, we learn that Asen, because he's dealing with some trauma centering his mother, is an alcoholic. Now, at first it didn't register. I was like, okay, he young, he in college, he want to drink a little Hennessy. No, baby, he is drinking it during breakfast. He is drinking it, then drinking tequila right after it. He don't have no drink of choice. Granted, he's 21, so everything is open season. Everything is up for grabs. But he drinking that, he drinking Casamigos, he doing whatever, and it's just leaning to the point where it's like, maybe he did it. But you also get on the same perspective. You like, oh, he wouldn't be taking it this hard. He wouldn't be doing the things that he needs to do if he didn't do it. Because most times when these people do not care, they think that they're untouchable. And it truly could be seen that people believe they're untouchable because of their parents' legacy. And that's when they go out here and just do it again and again and again, like I said. So I am holding out until Lyse tells me. I'm not going to say he did it, and I'm not going to say he didn't do it. What I'm going to say is, I'm going to watch. I find it that they have a different type of connection, because what his mother has went through, now his mother is now deceased, she passed away, which is a lot of the animosity between him and his father is the fact that his father and his mother kind of drifted apart. They were still married, but she was going through medical illness, and his father either just didn't have the time, was too focused on other boys going to get drafted, which they recently had a conversation where Asen is really struggling because he's always been in his father's shadow. He doesn't want he used to be craving his father's attention, and now he doesn't really care, and his father just can't seem to wrap his arms around that. So I want to see how that relationship unfolds, and he is so well adjusted to what Fat's going through with her mother, because her mother is experiencing cancer, because he's lived it, and so they connect and relate on a different vibe that Fat hasn't been able to see with anybody in her life. Her best friend doesn't really pay attention. Chelsea has her own things going on, and she's chasing Fat's brother. And then Bryce, don't get me started on him. He is a child, and he needs to stay in a child's place and needs to leave her alone, right? Like, he has been sniffing behind her drawers for years, and his feelings is going to get hurt when he realizes LA got your spots and your gal. Like, you're losing on all fronts, sir. So I'm going to go ahead and continue listening on, and I'll check back with you. Y'all, my nose is wide open for this man. Asen has me going through it on this highway. He said, when I told you I wanted you, I meant on some forever type shit. Why is knows Rayleigh's playing in my face. She is playing in my face, trying to sell me the fact that this is a 21-year-old man. Nah, baby, he moved different. This young man is moving different, and it shows. Now, granted, it's probably because he got money. He came from money. He been doing this for a very long time. Them young, rich, hot boys, they on a different level. And it's clearly showing in Asen Williams Jr. because he is moving with the finesse and suave of a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, really, honestly, if we're being honest. The man is a man. And young fat don't know what to do with it. Like, her true nickname is Baby Fat. And she is playing ball. And she's supposed to be playing T-ball. She is playing in the big leagues with this man. And it ain't no going back. So it's got to be forever. At this point, you, sir, you mine, and I'm yours. We moving together. This is whatever you decide to do. Just know I'm coming with you, because there's no getting rid of me at this point. That's how I would be feeling if I was her, because it ain't no going back, baby. I'd really like to know how somebody is categorizing this as young adult. Like, this is heavy, and not saying that young adult isn't heavy, but this is very adult situation, so that's why I'm giving it new adult. Like, this one here is hitting home. Be conscious of some content warnings. So suicide attempt / ideation, allegations of rape. You will have parental death, cancer. It's heavy. Now, this book is filled with characters that I despise. There are so many weak men and so many conniving women that everywhere I look around, like, I actually need to be beamed up to Planet Ace, because Earth is ghetto, like they said. This is just giving me, like, I am glad that you have Asen and Fat, like, protecting each other, being each other's peace, being each other's comfort, being each other's home. Like, that is a true nature of the relationship, and understanding that Fat has to look beyond the things that society is telling her about Asen, the things that are physically on display, because Asen is an alcoholic. Let's make no bones about it. Granted, a lot of it is rooted in trauma. His parents have given him enough trauma to feel a spaceship, but he is an alcoholic nonetheless. And for her being so young and so naive and so I won't even say immature, like, granted, yes, she doesn't know how to do a lot of things. Yes, but again, I'm pretty sure she's only 18. And it's not her fault, right? She is going through being the caretaker for her mom at such a young age, and her brother Marcus, who, you want to like him, right? Marcus is a big brother, and he's doing the best that he can, but his best isn't enough, and that leaves a lot on Fat's shoulder. And I appreciate that Asen comes in and he checks him, like, hey bro, I love you like a brother, but one thing you're not gonna do is have my woman out here stressed and taking on too much. Like, I'm gonna put you in your place, and she's not gonna have to do it. That is a type of protection that they provide each other, and vice versa. One thing Fat is going to do, she may run, but she gonna hold her man down. She is trying her best to become an adult and deal with adult situations. And so, like, when it comes to Blake, the sports agent who is only for the green and has a terrible way about doing things, she puts him in his place, and Blake don't like that, but that's not her problem. She's protecting her man. When it comes to, checking Cree and making sure that, I see you playing for two sides of the fence, and baby, if you're gonna do that, you don't need to be on our side. We're good. Like, that is where she is a little lady. And so I am enjoying watching them become each other's support system and working through everything. But again, this is heavy, right? So I am almost at the end. I actually just received the information that I needed to know whether or not Ace is guilty or whether Ace is innocent. And so I'm going to keep reading to see how this changes any dynamics, right? Because there's a lot at play. You still have the media aspect. You have Aeson's relationship with his father. You have Aeson's relationship with Fat. Seeing where these things go now that we know the truth as a reader. Because Aeson does not. He was blackout drunk, so he has no clue. I have just finished at the end of it all, and I think I'm going to wrap it up by saying these few things. One, this is the first book that I have read and actually enjoyed the I'm the man, I lead, you're the woman, you follow, I make the money, you spend the money, I lay down the rules, you obey. That's really honestly not my bag in books or in life. However, I think the way that Lyse wrote it is that he never took advantage of her. He never put her in a situation where she felt like she was going to be at a disadvantage. As a matter of fact, she wrote Aeson to be putting her in situations where she felt comfortable and truly could handle it on her own, right? Like, granted, she was spending his money, but he made sure she got a credit card with her own name on it. He made sure anytime he spoke, he said ours. It wasn't a my thing, which is very ironic, given the fact that they are so young. Like I said, I don't know many 21-year-olds handling business like this and stepping up to be that type of man that you will follow. But I think it's plausible given the fact that, granted, he's had money for a long time, as I've stated, right? And so when you have the access and means, you do develop a way of walking through the world and having an air about yourself that is different from someone who is trying to, find themselves in the world. I think also the fact that he has dealt with so much public scrutiny and trauma, he's had a lot of life experiences that led him to being the man that he is. And so I found that to be believable in the sense. Now, again, I feel like Ray wrote him as though he was much older than 21, given the other books that she writes. But I think they also balance each other out well. No matter how much it was Aeson is the center, like he is the planet and she is the world that's being spent. I will say I do think that they balanced each other out in terms of she would always make sure to protect him, whether it be from the media, whether it be people to tear him down, protecting him from himself, making sure that as he goes on his binge, he is drinking water and taking fluids. He is, able to recover. When he needs rest, she's making sure he takes it. And so I love that was the balance. And again, where being his woman became his peace, and then vice versa. Like I said, he's always making sure that she's good. Outside of that, this is a really great book. Like I said, it has some really hard topics, but if you are looking for something that is new adult, that is refreshing in terms of it's not all centered around like the sports and the college aspect, even though it has those tropes, this would be the one for you. It gives a lot more substance outside of your typical college sports romance. So this actually is leading me to determine whether or not I want to read Luca by Gray Huffington, which is another super alpha male main character. But I might just hold off on a good note and leave it with Lyse. I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.